Quaid Azam, Part 146. Jawaharlal Nehru soon found his acceptance of the communal representation and commitment to the dominion status unacceptable. He had, after all, returned from his European tour a changed man. His Gandhian ideological commitments were overlaid, perhaps displaced by an anti-imperialist socialist ideology. His nationalist understanding changed too. He was now committed to an integral nationalism that was consistent with uniform citizenship and majoritarian democracy. Class replaced other social categories, notably religion, and his way of understanding the political process. In rejecting communal representation and dominion status, he was rejecting key aspects of the pluralist state and the multicultural society in India. For example, minority representation safeguards a federalized state. It is important to remember that Nehru wrote to Gandhi that the very thought of dominion status suffocated and strangled him. In this context, A.G. Noorani writes, it was Nehru who insisted on blindly following British practice procedures in India's plural society by refusing to recognize the need for safeguards for minorities, especially for the Muslims. Safeguards, for example, reserved seats for the Muslims and weightage allowing or allocating a higher proportion of legislative seats than a minority share of their population. They were needed. Indian citizens, regardless of their religion or caste, would have constitutionally guaranteed uniform rights, and that was good enough. In any case, safeguards played into the hands of the Britain's divide and rule strategy. Such questions draw their meaning and urgency from the existence and concern of India's religious and social minorities. Minorities who feel endangered by the monopoly sovereignty claims of the Congress, majoritarianism. In the 1920s, at the provincial as well as all India level, minorities had acquired political consciousness and identities and had begun to seek a voice, a due representation, and were asserting their rights. India's existence as one country depended on the willing support of its Muslim community for an independent Indian nation. Yet paradoxically, that is exactly where lay the source of the Muslim fear of their future in an independent India. Would they not then face the tyranny of the permanent majority, the Hindu? Response denying any such possibility drew only groans of disbelief. The past many centuries and the shadows of history obscured both vision and the thought. In the event, the expectations of both Gandhi and Nehru were defeated by British domestic political development beyond their control. Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald's tottering national government was too divided and too hostile to grant India the dominion status that Lord Irwin as Viceroy had tried for, and that in 1928 Motilal Nehru report had also recommended. Besides, this goal of dominion status was rendered an academic point by December 1929 decision of the Congress to demand full independence. What Pandit Motilal Nehru report of 1928 did achieve was a totally unintended objective. It convinced the various Muslim groups that they had to, for safeguarding their own interest, come under the single umbrella, that of All India Muslim Conference, as distinctly apart from the Muslim League, and there must be a united view what is put across. This Nehru report of 1928, running totally counter to the Lucknow Pact of 1916, had, as we have already noted, recommended an evolution of the elections on the basis of separate electorates, also the weightage for the majority provinces. Both these impacted directly on Muslim representation in minority provinces such as United Provinces, Bihar, and others in this category, and it reduced their numbers in Central Assembly